welcome to my cross stitching channel. Today is Saturday, February 4th, and I am back for a monthly update. I hope that everybody's year has been going well so far. Mine's been a bit of a roller coaster, only a month in, and it's already been a little bit of an adventure. So, but I won't talk about any of that until the end. I do apologize. I was supposed to film this on Wednesday, on the 1st. What I failed to realize is that I have little to no light in good light in my apartment. Even artificial light is not great. So that combined with my downstairs neighbor, who is a musician and plays his guitar all the time, except in the mornings apparently. So I had to move it to this weekend just for those reasons, and so I am here today. So I apologize for anybody who expected a video from me earlier this week and didn't get it. Not that anybody was expecting it, but I am sorry. So I am here today for, like I said, a WIP update. And then towards the end, I'll talk about some life updates and how my plans will be changing for this year. Some things have shifted around that's gonna alter what I had planned before. So in the month of January, I worked on 6 projects for a total of 8,513 stitches, and that's just things that I count off of Pattern Keeper. If it's a paper pattern, I don't count the stitches, just it's too much hassle for me. And then I had only 3 days where I didn't stitch at all, so I thought that was pretty good. So those are my stats for this month. I will kind of go over individual project stats as I go, but let's go ahead and jump in. My first WIP is Lady Justice. And this is a Mirabilia. This is what she will look like when she's done. Sorry, glare. And this, like I said, a Mirabilia. I believe Nora Corbett is the artist. And mine is stitched on a 32 count. You'd think how many times I said this, I would know. 32 count Be Stitch Me fabric and the color Evil Queen. And I'm stitching 2/2 full cross, even the skin. And I worked on her for 11 days. And she is still in the Q-snap, partially because it was really hard to get this position where I wasn't gonna mess with the metallic stitches that are already in there. So I'm hoping I can show this without taking out, but if it doesn't work, I'll fix it. So this is where we got to. I can already tell this is gonna be difficult. So this is my progress from last time. So you can see I have gotten quite a bit done. I finished off the upper part of that blue sash, got some more of a dress filled in. And the reason why I have it still in the Q-snap is I come back to this side to fill in that blue sash that comes off the back. So like I said, 11 days worked on her. I have realized I have greatly underestimated how many stitches are in this pattern. She still has quite a bit of that green skirt to go. The blue is almost done though, so that's exciting. I have the rest of this sash to fill in, a little bit over on the opposite side at the bottom, and then the blue will be done. And then I do need to also come back up to the top and finish her other arm and the sword. But because I've been having to kind of finagle this based on where the metallic stitches are already, I figured I would save the rest of the metallic till the end. So super pleased with that. And I am still working on finishing her this year, so we will see if I can get that done. I do apologize. My husband and our dog are here, so you may hear some noises. I'm sorry if they're super loud. So that was the first thing I worked on. Next was the crowned heart, and I actually worked on this first. my goal for this one this year is to, that's gonna remain the same, is to work on this as close to the day of my anniversary, like the number day, as I can each month. And I ended up working on her on the 2nd of January, or on this project on the 2nd of January, since I had that day off. So I figured I would work on it. This week, I will either be working on it today or tomorrow. The day I got married was on September 3rd, so let's see. I am stitching this on a 25 count, I think it's just white opalescent Lugana, 1/1 full cross. And I am using DMC variegated, I believe it's 92, which is this color, it's green. And I got 482 stitches in that one day, which was pretty good, I thought. But here we are now. Can't get the fabric to flatten out. So this is how far I got. So happy you can kind of see the shimmer there. It's really fun working on sparkly fabric. I think this is the first opalescent project I've ever done. It won't be the last, I don't think. That's how far I got. Got some more. I think I got the bottom line and the border all the way around. And then I just came in and started working on these zigzags and the pattern underneath. So that was a lot of fun. I do find variegated thread fun to work with, just with, you know, where it fades from one color to the next. And I do have my eye on some possible like silks that I might use for like a long dog sampler or something in the future. But this has been fun to work on. It does require a bit more brain power because I'm trying not to, I mean, everybody does it a little bit differently. I just like kind of going back and forth, where if I feel like a lot of dark is in one area, then I'll try and add like a lighter set of stitches. But like this one's dark, that one's light. So I don't know, I'm just winging it. But I like how it's turning out. So, and did I mention the Crowned Heart by Modern Folk Embroidery? You do this once a month and you get a little out of practice. Yeah, by Modern Folk Embroidery, and this is my wedding sampler, like I said. It probably will not be done this year. That's not one of my goals, but I would like to make a good dent into it. Yeah, I'll go over my goals at the end. Okay, so that was number 2. So the third thing I worked on was Pandemic, which is a long dog sampler pattern. And I am stitching mine on 28 count Helix, or Lugana in the color Helix. I picture this plus 1/1 full cross with DMC color 939. This is a navy blue. And I got 3,631 stitches on this project. So here we are from last time. I believe I finished off this page since the last time you saw it, and I've been working into this next page over. This is slated for a finish this year. If I don't get anything else done, I really want this to be done. But I should have more time to work on these. Like I said, there's been some life things, so. I am in love with how this is turning out. I'm so excited to see it finished. This thing in the middle has been holy stitch heavy. But I think I'm about halfway through this next page, so it shouldn't take me too much longer to get that done. I have discovered that daily stitching, which is what I was kind of planning to do with this one, isn't really my thing. So, but again, I'll touch on that a little bit later. So the next project is Realm of Middle Earth map, extra large. This is a Tilton Crafts pattern that I believe is retired now. and I am stitching mine on a 28 count, just plain white Lugana with 1/1 full cross. And this was my full coverage focus for January, and I managed to get 2,845 stitches. And this is where we're at now. It feels like a lot of stitches, but in the grand scheme of the pattern, it's really not. But I am glad I got some of these details in. I decided to, so I was feeling a bit bogged down with all this confetti that I started in. But I decided to work diagonally and kind of just kind of pick the top color and run it down and just keep working down and down into the diagonal. That seemed to help kind of break it up a little bit. Wasn't quite as arduous getting through all of that. So, but this is the H in Rohan, and this is the N for Fangorn Forest. I had to look up what this was. Apparently it's somewhat of a no man's land. It's been back and forth. If you care about the folklore in Lord of the Rings, if you don't, just skip ahead. But it's like traded hands between Rohan and Gondor and the enemy. It's gone back and forth because it's not that far away from Mordor, which is like over here. But I had to look it up because I wasn't quite sure. I had forgotten what that was, so. But I love the details coming out. That makes me so happy to see that. Because before, when I had started this, because this is a number 3 third time restart, I had started up in the corners, and I couldn't always see details right away, so being like right smack dab in the middle of it, it's been fun. So that is my Middle Earth map. That was number 4. Number 5 is Fruits of Plenty, which is another modern folk embroidery pattern. And mine is stitched on 18 count white Aida, 2/1 full cross with DMC colors 820, which is a blue, and 321, which is red. And I got 1,555 stitches on this one. Sorry, it's fabric. And this is where I am at from last time. I'll probably just do the whole comparison. Not up close this time. But yeah, I got quite a bit done on this one. I was really happy to finish up some of the motifs. This is really hard to hold. So I was mainly working over in this area over here. I decided, because there are, I think, 16 pages according to Pattern Keeper, the way they break it up. There are 16 pages in this pattern, and so I decided to start page completing since I was really close to finishing some of these pages anyway. So I have finished all of this one. I think I finished even the second page too. This took me a while, this red down here. I love how that negative space is creating those shapes. It looks so cool. But yeah, I got in the rest of like this side of this motif. I just need like some blue lines up here, and that'll be done. So if you're wondering why there's just like this weird little thing hanging out there, it's just, it was part of the page, so I did it. So I'm not sure when this one will come back out. I do get a little bit burnt out on the Aida. It's really not my favorite choice anymore. I don't mind it occasionally, but especially where this has just the 2 colors, I get burnt out pretty quick. So, but loving that. I love the colors. My husband, every time I show him more progress, he gets all excited because this is one of his favorite patterns. So If I were to like restart this one, I would pick an even weave and do it that way, but I'm too far in now. I think I'm over 10,000 stitches into that now total, so I'm like, that's okay. I'll just keep going, it's fine. And then the last thing I worked on was Twisted Band Sampler. I'll show you what it looks like. And this is by Northern Expressions Needlework. I'm sure most of you, holy glare, has seen this project by now. I think it came out some time ago. I was a little late to the game with this. But that is the finished product. And I managed to get this whole specialty stitch band done in January. It looks like I worked on it for 4 days. So my initial goal was half a band, which clearly I got more than that. So that is what it will look like when it's done. Mine is being stitched on just a white 32 count Lugana, 2/2 full cross, and then 1 stitch for the specialty stitches. And here's where we're at from last time. Like I said, I finished that entire specialty stitch band, and I finished up another color, which I think was like 782, 781, something like that. And I am only half a band away from green, and I am so excited about that because it's my favorite color. This top half has been, it's been fun, and I love the way it looks, but I am a cool color person. I prefer blues and greens and purples over warmer colors like red and orange, so it's been like exciting getting closer and closer to the colors I really want to work on. But I have now finished, I believe, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yep, 8 bands out of 17. So I am just under halfway done, which is exciting. And I will try to pull it in a little bit. My camera doesn't like to focus too much when I pull it in. But I've got sheaf stitches on the outside. So these bigger stitches on either side are sheaf stitches, and then the middle ones that are combined to make, there's like a long leg diamond Smyrna cross and then a short one, but you put them together and it makes like a kind of a crisscross pattern with the crosses in the middle. So that one was pretty fun. I was a little that last row of the sheaf stitches almost did me in, but I got it done. So I will continue. I'll talk about that in my goals too. Sorry, I'm leaving you guys in suspense. So those were all my whips. Like I said, not a ton of projects, but a lot of progress. I did get over 8,500 stitches, plus the 15 days of stitching. And it wasn't necessarily the whole day, but 15 days where I stitched on projects that were on paper, the Mirabilia and my Twisted Band Sampler. So if I had to wager, I'd probably say over 10,000 for the month, which is awesome. That's way more than I was expecting. So I'm gonna kind of segue into my goals / life update. So if you're just here to see my progress, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and I hope you will come back next week. Please feel free to hit subscribe, like, comment. All those things really help out my channel and get my videos in front of more people. So if you are going to stay. So like I said, January was a bit of a rough start month. So I did start college or university, whatever you want to call it, on January 9th. I was in classes for, was it a week? 2 weeks? 2 weeks, I think. I think about 2 weeks. And I have since left school again. I'm kind of in a time of my life right now where I feel a little up in the air about what I want to do and my motivation behind wanting to do certain life things, like big things like going back to school or like job, that kind of thing. I'm still trying to pinpoint what's going to be the best move for me. And at the time, I kind of got to a point where I was like, I don't think I'm going to school for the right reasons. And so I decided to drop all my classes and just kind of take a step back and reevaluate all of that. So I'm no longer in school. So that opens up all the free time I had before, or at least most of it. So as I said, I have a lot more time to stitch now. And so my goals are going to be changing. But also during this month, I may have gotten more stitching done too, because the second week of January, so I started on the 9th. The following Saturday, I started feeling sick. And by Sunday night, I thought I was dying. Just fever and congestion and just the sore throat was so bad. I don't know if it was the Rona. I didn't get tested for it, but it lasted for about a week. I was sick from Saturday to Saturday. I started feeling better. I don't remember if it was this last Sunday. I think it was this last Sunday. So I took a whole week off work. And only one of those days, I just could not bring myself to stitch at all. The fevers got pretty intense for a while. So I was sick for a whole week, so I got a lot more stitching time, which was nice. I did a lot of my twisted band sampler during that week. But yeah, so between being sick and then in and out of school, and there's just a lot in January, but that's all right. So, a couple other life thing, or just one other thing, I guess. If anybody, this isn't really a life thing, this is kind of a more cross-stitch related thing. If anybody wants to go to Stitch West, that waitlist has just opened. I will try to leave links to the waitlist. I'm not sure I can do that, but if people are interested, it is open. Stitch West is a retreat in October from the 13th to the 15th in Salt Lake. So, but there is a wait list that you have to sign up for. They're doing like a brand new wait list, so everybody is starting from square one. But you have to sign up in order to get like an invoice and be able to pay for your registration. So if you want to come to Stitch West, which was a super fun retreat that I went to for the first time, I'm actually wearing the shirt that we got, and it says, "A day spent cross-stitching is a good day." Yeah, it's a good day. It's got the Snug Harbor Crafts anchor on it, but so it is hosted by Snug Harbor Crafts. You can go either on their Facebook page. They have a waitlist link in there. You do have to be request to be added to their group because it's private. But you can either go there, or they have a blog as well that has the link. So if you want to come, you definitely should. Me and my friends are all signed up on the wait list already. It just opened this morning at 10 a.m. But a lot of my friends from Table 10 from last year have already signed up. So I'm really excited to go again this year. I'm hoping that we all get in without a hitch, but it would be super fun to make more friends, see more of you out there in real life, because I love the interactions I get in the comments, but it'd be super cool to meet you in person. So anyway, that's my last little bit of like administrative stuff. So as I mentioned, my plans will be changing for this year in light of having a lot more free time. Tentatively, I haven't decided anything for the fall yet. So assuming I have the rest of the year open without any school or anything getting in the way, I have changed my plans a little bit and upped the goals on some things. So I'll kind of just go through what I did have and tell you what I changed. So my finishes are remaining the same, except I'm going to add my twisted band sampler into the finished category for this year. I'm going to be doing 1 band a month instead of half a band. So since there were only 10 bands left at the start of this year, that should put me at a finish at the end of October. So I am adding that to my finishes. So Lady Justice, Pandemic, Pina Colada Recipe, and Twisted Band Sampler are my finishes now that I would like to get to. I am upping my goal on Fruits of Plenty from 50% to 75%. I don't think I did the math on it, and I would just have to put way too much time into my Fruits of Plenty to be able to finish it. And I would rather focus on some other things. So I did up the goal on that one. My crowned heart, I did nail down that I would like to do 500 stitches for sure every month when I work on it. And when I work on it, it's on a day I don't have work or other obligations usually. So 500 stitches isn't that big of a deal. And that should put me at 25% done with the pattern by the end of the year. So I'll probably up that next year, but I'd like to get some of these other projects out of the way before I do that. And then for so I am going to remain on the full coverage focus, but I'm going to pull 2 projects instead of just one. I admire people who can be monogamous or really like have just very few projects that they work on in a month. My brain has rewired itself. I used to be like that, but my brain is just like, nope, we're not doing it anymore. So I need more than one full coverage. I loved working on my Middle Earth map, but I did get burnt out on it by the end. So I'm gonna push it up to 2 focuses a month, and Tarot Town 2, which I'll put a picture in what that one looks like. That will always be a focus every month because that is my biggest project that has the most progress on it. It's already over a third of the way done, and it was my oldest project, and so I would really like to get some real focused attention on that one. So I will always have that one running every month. And then I'm going to stick with the focus plan that I had from before. So like I had made, if you looked at my plans video, I had made a list of every month I had a full coverage focus picked. So I will keep what was on here, but I'm going to add Tarot Town 2 as an extra one. And I'm pushing it from a minimum of 1,000 stitches a month to 4,000 on each piece. So I don't know if I'll do that for Middle Earth map. So essentially what I'm trying to do is about half a page every month I work on a full coverage. Regular size Heaven and Earth design pages are just under 8,000. So I would need 4,000 for those. And then my Tilton crafts pages though, for my Middle Earth map, which I think is the only full coverage I have that's not a Heaven and Earth design, I think. So that one, the stitches are 5,600. And so that's why I pushed myself up to 2,800 because that was half a page on that project. So I don't know when that one comes up, if I'm going to stick to the 4,000 or if I'll just do 2,800 and maybe use some of that time that I would have spent on that one and kind of bulk up my non-full coverage for the month. So we'll see how that works out. That was very convoluted. I'm sorry if you followed that. Way to go. So yeah. And then I am removing full coverage or non-full coverage focuses altogether. I want too many of these finished. I want the freedom to work on them whenever I want to. Sometimes I'm really feeling pandemic or I really want to work on my Mirabilia, but if it's not in the month that we're in, then I can't work on it. And I don't like feeling, this is a hobby. We're supposed to be having fun. Like I have goals and plans and things, but ultimately I just want to enjoy the time when I have it to stitch. And I just want to stitch on what I want to stitch on. So if I have enough open to me, then I will always be able to find something that I can spend that time on. So, like I said, I'm totally removing the restriction on non-full coverage focus. So I will work on any or all of them on any given month. My winter sampler's in a bit of a timeout right now. I'm still feeling a little burnt out on that one. So we'll see when that one comes back in. But the Crowned Heart will be every month. And then the rest, Twisted. So Crowned Heart and Twisted Band Sampler have concrete goals. The rest, I'm just, when I want to pick them up, I'll pick them up. So my plans for February specifically, my full coverage focuses will be Beloved, which looks like this. And then also, like I said, Tarot Town 2 will be the other one. That's all of my those plus, like I said, I'll work on the Crowned Heart this weekend. and I will start working on the next band of the Twisted Band sampler. But otherwise, the rest will just kind of come in and out as I feel like working on them. So yeah, I'm kind of going back to a not so concrete plan of what I'm doing, but it works for me. Like, I've been kind of talking with, recently I've subscribed and started being on lives with Suki, the Brown-Eyed Stitcher, and kind of like that whole group of people that go on there. And I've been kind of, you know, watching people's floss tubes and asking opinions and kind of re-examining what kind of structure that works for me and like rotations and things that work for me. I'm not a daily person. I don't like feeling like it feels like it puts like a restriction, or like it feels like pressure. Like, you have to work on this today. And I know, like, I can call audibles and change it up, but I don't like feeling like I have to work on something, because like probably a lot of people, when people are like, you have to do this innately, your brain's just like, well, then I'm not going to do it. So I'm not a daily person. So I've kind of pushed that one. I'm like, it's not for me. I'm not even going to try. But I do like having a little bit of goals in a month, because that gives me enough time to kind of fit them in where I want. So all that to say, those are all my plans moving forward. So I think that was it. I talked about my plans, my life updates, and all my whips. So like I said, if you want to come to Stitch West, I highly encourage you to put your name on the wait list. That would be super fun to meet more people and get to know you in person. I'm super excited for that. It's only February and it's still like 8 months away, but I'm still really excited. So I hope you all are having a lovely 2023 so far, and that it's going your way as much as it can. Thank you so much again for stopping by to spend some time with me. I really and truly appreciate each and every person who watches, subscribes, comments, likes, does everything a week, video after video that I put out. I really truly appreciate that. So I'm gonna leave it there. I hope you all are doing well, staying safe and healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.